Okay, I'm Paul Perdue with Perdue Vision, and we are going to be making some pecan pies. A little taste of the South here. I've made my own recipe, more of a hybrid off of the K-Rose syrups recipe that comes on the back. We're going to be making 4 pies, so in order for you to do one, you're going to want to quarter this recipe. These pies are going to be specifically my favorite, the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey recipe. I always like putting liquor in just about anything that I can because it makes it more fun. So, well, we've got our pie pads, pie dishes, we've got eggs, we've got sugar, we've got our vanilla extract, we've got pecans, which are very important in pecan pies. We've got our pie crust, which we purchased the great value kind because they come ready to go. All you got to do is roll them out, and they are delicious. Trust me, you will not know the difference between these and making your own, except for how much time you'll lose in doing that. Measuring receptacles, definitely want to make sure you have everything ready to go. We're going to start with, my assistant is going to take these pie pans and get them ready. We're going to spray them down with Baker's Joy, and we're going to roll out each of our pie crusts into these to where they look beautiful. I'm just going to pass these on to my assistant. She'll come back in a minute and show you how wonderful those will look. Now, I'm going to mix my wet ingredients. Now, it calls for 1 pie will call for 1 cup of K-Rose syrup. You can see I've also got some great value here. Well, I wanted to buy one at least to get the recipe, so I make sure I get it right. And then another one so I can save some money. There are 2 cups per container here, so I'm going to make 4 pies. So I'm going to put both of these in my KitchenAid mixer. And we're just going to open this wide up and just let that pour into the mixer. You may even want to just kind of, you know, prop it up there and let it do its thing. Let's see here. That's good. There. All right. Make sure we get all of that in there as much as possible. I mean, you're not going to really make that big of a difference if you don't get every fraction in there. I'm not a recipe guy, as you can tell. I guess when baking you're supposed to be, but I've never had a bad experience. Matter of fact, typically I'll alter just about every recipe that I do, and my assistant will vouch for that. I'm calling my wife my assistant. That's my wife, Monica, over there. You probably already know her if you're watching this. Or you will by the end of the video. Okay, so we've got our 4 cups of K-Rose syrup, right? I'm going to turn those upside down. I may be able to squeeze a little bit out of them later. It's going to call for 12 eggs. And now that's a lot of eggs, so let's get to cracking. I'm going to put all of my wet ingredients in first. Oh, you don't want to drop shells in. And should you drop a shell in like I just did there, you can take your shell and scoop it out. A little trick my grandmother showed me. And Chunk, my dog over here, is going to be sure to clean up every little thing that we drop on the floor. He's doing a wonderful job, might I add, because I keep slinging egg matter his direction. And we're just going to crack all of these eggs here. Keep it going. Don't be shy. You're going to get messy. Each pie gets 1/3 cup of my Jack Daniel's honey. So we're going to go 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And last but not least, 1/3. And a little bit for good faith. Oh, and we also need to melt the butter. 4 tablespoons. Actually, it's 1 tablespoon per pie, so we're going to do 4 tablespoons for 4 pies. Land O'Lakes butter, delicious, sweet and creamy. You're going to melt this down. We need to preheat the oven to 325. I'm going to do convection because we're doing so many pies, we want that air to move around them and make sure they all cook evenly. All right. And on the vanilla extract, it's 1 teaspoon. So we're just going to kind of, like I said, I'm not too big on formalities here, so 4 teaspoons approximately. Let's go ahead and drop that down, lock it down, and crank it up. Okay, that's gonna blend for a little bit. We got the butter. Might as well go ahead and add that in there too. I'm gonna keep it low because you don't want it going everywhere. All right. Go ahead and start adding my sugar. There we go. And now to the pecans, or pecans. Pecans. Monica's doing a wonderful job over here. You should see her with these pies. It's unbelievable. All right. So the recipe calls for 6 cups of pecans for 4 pies. So that's 1.5 cups for 1 pie. And how many do we have in here? 16 ounces. Well, I think there are 8 ounces per cup, so that means that we need 2 of these bags. I like to kind of crush the bag up just a little bit to break some of those pecans up. You want to make sure that they, you're not always taking a big bite out of a huge pecan. So just give them a good crush, dump them in there. That looks good. And another one. Crush it up. Now this is looking really good. I'm gonna have to pick the camera up in a minute and show you this. Matter of fact, I may just bring this to you because we've done such a good job of keeping the camera stable. Good job, cameraman. I'm gonna add this last one in here. It's getting kind of full, so we might need to go a little slow with it. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of pecans in this. I think I measured this just right. Any more, 1 more pie, and this KitchenAid would not have been able to handle it. But 4 pies, good for any household family that needs to get fat quick. Or in our circumstance, I'm using these for holiday gifts for clients that have been very true, and I do appreciate their business, and I think they'll appreciate these homemade pecan pies, the special Jack Daniel's Honey Edition by Perdue Vision. We've even designed our own labels. Let me grab one of these for you. Check this out. Ain't that something? Gonna be yeah, Perdue Vision pecan pies. You can't beat it. You can eat it. All right, so we'll bring these over here. Some of these will probably be shipping out, around the country. So we want to make sure that when we do package them, they're not going to be shifting around. So we're going to do a vacuum seal Ziploc bag, and then some circus peanuts to keep them nice and packed inside their box or enclosure, and then we'll ship them overnight. Make sure they get there. The pecan pies don't typically need to be refrigerated. Everything is baked and cooked, and it's just like any other pie that Grandma used to make. It sits out on the countertop and probably won't last but a couple of days if you're really hungry. So these are well mixed. Let's go ahead and pull that out, let it dribble. I'm going to take this mixture here, and we're going to pour it into these pies over here. Let me go ahead and show you what we got here. Monica did a wonderful job of putting these pie crusts in there. As you can see, very nice. All the way to the edge, cut very smooth. And use your thumbs to press down and pinch to create that little pie crust edge that, is very traditional. It's not necessary, but it just looks good. So we're gonna take this and divvy it up. No, maybe I should just leave that there. Let me show you this. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I think I probably should do a ladle. This could be a very messy situation if you don't handle it right. Just kind of make sure you stir it up before you start to put it in there, because you know you do have a lot of ingredients in here. You want to make sure that you use all of them equally. Now we got 4 pecan pies ready to go in the oven, and they look really good. We preheated to 325, and we're going to go for a period of 60 to 70 minutes. What you want to look for is make sure that your crust isn't burning around the edges. You can always put tin foil around that. Typically, I like my crust to be a little bit crunchy. It's just a nice accompaniment to the pie and the sweetness and having a little bit of crunch in there. So let's go ahead and open her up. This is a convection oven, so it's going to cook evenly by distributing the air around the pies. I love this oven. It's actually the best one that KitchenAid makes for electric. Well, at least when we bought it. So we do a lot of cooking, or like to at least. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these turn out. So we're going to start that timer. There we go. And we're golden. We'll see you in a minute.
And here we have the final product, pecan pies. 4 delicious looking pecan pies. We're going to let them cool for about 15-20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and then we'll box them up and put our logo on them, and they'll be ready to go. We're going to do these hand-delivered Perdue Vision pecan pies. Signing out.